So then they didn't replace it. So we just had the little half-ton pickups, all we had. So if we needed a vehicle, we had to talk to Canadian Forces about a loan from them. They had to authorize it and all that. We had to be authorized to drive it and all the rest of the stuff. So the first time I got to do that, I walked up to the side of the truck and the door handles even with my head, you know, like, this is kind of big, you know. But it was big, huge truck. It was a nice truck. You know. But when we used to do a supply run, I always volunteered to go and never got to go, but I would have liked to done it. You went through Quebec, somehow across the St. Lawrence Seaway, not sure how they did that, ferry probably, into New York, or Loring, Maine, one of the two. And you loaded up on stuff. A lot of it would be stripes and, you know, bars and stuff for people who got promoted and things, so they had their appropriate rank and name tags and things like that. And then you would get, they would pick up a bunch of booze. And of course there's no customs or tax on it because it was on the base, and it's going to another Canadian base we had a one-room BX, and that's when it was a big deal, a supply run to go to there. So we had our headquarters was in Missouri. 22nd NORAD region, which was in Cold Bay, was who was giving us direct orders on anything important. And we were paid out of New York and sort of supported it out of Loring, Maine.
Loring Air Force Base?
Yeah, well, none of those places are open anymore.
No.
So it tells you how it was. Rich's Gabor in Missouri. And it was a good job. When I could have stayed there, it would have been a good deal, but I didn't. Anyhow, I didn't, and that was fine, and I got to go to Germany and see things I didn't want to see in Germany, and stupidly didn't do things I could have done. But
was this one of the bases that had the nuclear interceptors?
Yeah, not officially, no. I had two forms of alert, okay? And they were F-101 Poodles. Canadians also had F-104 Starfighters. They predominantly flew the Starfighters, mostly in Germany or Belgium or wherever they were at. The Belgians ran the Germans ran the 104 Starfighter, and it was fast. And so did I think the Belgians run it, the Canadians ran it in Europe. The 101s they looked like a small F4.
Yeah.
Nice little plane. Very, very fast. And all the weapons were pretty much internal. And that was that. It was a good deal. It was a good assignment. A lot of ways it would have been good to stay there. But I was looking at buying a VW microbus at the time. Sounded like a good idea. Small, lots of gas mileage, lots of room. Didn't happen. I didn't stay there long enough. Then I would have had to have problems how to get it to Europe and play all the games, different rules and all the rest of it. And there's those cute little Ford pickups. Operative word being little.
Yeah, Rangers.
Yeah, well, they weren't a bad idea. They were a pretty good idea, actually. Had the side things on there you could jump in and out of that.
The new Rangers almost look like the old F-150s.
Yeah.
That isn't a new one.
No, but it was a nice size. I thought, that Comanche was if we'd had 6 foot bed, it'd have been a little more
would have had
nimble.
A little bigger cab, would have been nicer.
Well, yeah, but it didn't.
No.
But it was a good vehicle. It had a few quirks to it, but not much you can do it when you get nailed in an accident. But that's okay. We replaced that with a Durango, did we?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So basically a big 4-wheel drive Jeep.
And then about a year later, we replaced the van.
Because the doors were falling off and everything
It was
So,
costing so much in repairs, we could just make payments on it.
well,
We limped
the
it along for
repairs
like a
were still
year or
cheaper,
two.
but it was almost 200,000 miles.
Well, yeah, but when you had like 15 repairs in a year,
Yeah,
and each of the repairs was over $100 or $200, $300.
yeah. Well, it
Yeah.
probably would have motored on for a while.
And it was still leaking, regardless of
Always leaking.
it fixed the CV axle. Well, it's leaking again.
third time around or
Yeah,
something like
in
that.
like
Yeah,
3 months,
Yeah, well,
and it's still leaking.
yeah, well, just have to keep up on the leaks, I guess. But it was a pretty good vehicle, really. You know, I don't think it's as good as the Honda,
No.
but I like the doors better. They were manual. You could take them off and work on them. You can't touch the stuff.
Yeah, you could sort of.
Stuff in the Honda, you
sort
can't
of
touch
easier
that.
to get in the back seat, sort of.
Yeah.
We
But-
took it to Texas.
Yeah, it did fine.
Don't remember if we took it to any one of the places.
Took
in
it to Canada, yes.
Once. It must have been when we went
Took
to
the
Winnipeg.
purple wagon one time.
Yeah, to Regina.
Yeah.
We took I think we took the van to Winnipeg.
Well, Mom and I
Winnipeg
were looking at the Vietnam Security Police reunion. It's going to be in Charleston, South Carolina. I suspect that's probably about 2,000 miles.
Yeah, at least. Probably about, well, depending where you go down, I think it's like 1,500 miles actually, because a couple years ago they tried to get me to go to Wilmington
Yeah,
for that convention, for that gaming group.
yeah.
And I was looking, I was like going, I think I did the math, it was like 1,500 miles.
Okay.
And that was Wilmington, North Carolina.
Yeah, this is Charleston,
South Carolina, so yeah, it might be
on the
2,000
coast,
miles.
close to 2,000 miles.
So it's just about as long as it would be
It's
from
like
here
going
to San Diego.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. So
that would be interesting.
it would,
It would be a long road trip,
But-
though.
we would have to.
And after watching some of the videos of the trains, my butt ain't gonna fit in the train.
Well, I didn't think we were going to go.
My butt wouldn't fit going down the hallway of the train.
I don't think we're going by train.
No,
Now to fly,
I mean it would be interesting.
we would
but
have to get you
no,
2 seats.
No,
We'd have to get 2 seats for you.
Nope.
We'd have to fly from here to Minneapolis to Atlanta, probably Atlanta to Charleston, something like that. Okay. And then we would
Maybe a
have
train if it could fit.
then we'd have to try to get a ride in the airport from one end of the airport to the other. You know, you get on those carts and they run you around. And then we would have to bring a couple of oxygen machines and CPAPs and monitors.
Yeah, that would be fun, wouldn't it? Going through everything and having everything shipped. Yeah.
No.
Hoping to
So
get lost.
that kind of takes it out of the flight thing. Okay.
Well,
And it would be pricey,
because of me and everything else.
but it would be like paying for 4 people to fly because we'd have to buy 2 seats for you. And the aircraft would have to be available to have them fold up so you could sit across 2 seats.
And it'd have to be at a point where I didn't panic,
There is that
which would be a
detail.
problem because it
Okay.
probably would.
Well, I don't know. It doesn't bother me flying.
Well, yeah, but you drink booze when you're
It does help.
I don't drink booze.
As long as
That's
you
a
don't drive.
problem.
Well, we might be going off of that here shortly. We might have to get rid of all of it. Ooh, a little accident, maybe breakdown, something. Maybe. I don't know. Okay. Anyhow, yeah. If you're gonna drive, you can't drive.
Driving would be interesting.
But driving would be an adventure.
It would definitely be like when we went to Texas, only a little further.
And
But
you'd have to see what the rules are on the different states for concealed carry and everything
Well,
else.
obviously,
You know, so then,
got you. Well, you qualify to get that federal firearms.
I didn't retire as a cop. I might be able to push it that way, but I don't think they would. If I just retired or something, maybe. Turkey. There he is. There's the other 3.
Gobble.
There's 3 in total. 4.
Well, I'm kind of fat. Well, majority of the places we'd be interstating at majority of the way
Well,
down.
yes, because it's quicker, faster,
yeah.
safer. Yeah.
I'd have to map that out. I wonder if
Well,
is that
that-
this year or next year?
It's this year, October-ish.
Map that
So
out.
it would be from here to
I'll get on
at
Google
least
Maps and look at that.
Fargo,
Well, you know.
and then you're going to have to go beyond, either over to Wisconsin or straight down 29, or 29, down 29 and over on 35, or over 35 is going to
It
take
would
you a long
have to
way.
be Minot to Bismarck, Bismarck to Fargo, and then Fargo
Either
to
maybe
Minneapolis or
maybe, yeah.
somewhere just a little bit, maybe St. Cloud or something.
Yeah, it would be,
And then look
Yeah.
at the next option.
yeah. I preferably
It would be a
don't want
couple
to,
days.
do not want to stop in Minneapolis.
No, you want
Or
to go to like a suburb
St.
or
Paul.
something.
No.
No, yeah, you want to go to a suburb or
No.
something.
Just like
not in the
Billings,
metro.
I don't want to be in
Nah,
central Billings either.
although I'd rather be in Billings than
Absolutely.
than in Minneapolis.
But anyhow, it would be,
Yeah.
would say we had to go all the way to St. Cloud or somewhere one day. And then we'd have to go to Madison, Wisconsin or something like that, down to Chicago. Well, Chicago's not really where I want to go. No.
Like the plague. There's probably, I'll look at the route and what the optimal route is,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll just go. Somebody's calling me.
Yep, they are. You're just going to have to wait. Right now, I'm not available
No,
to take
if it's
the call.
important, I'll leave a message.
Yep.
South Carolina.
It's a thought. I'm not sure Mom and I are too keen on it, but it sounded like an adventure. But
It does say it was only an adventure.
let's say we go to somewhere in Minnesota or so the first day. Okay. Then we got to go, and we're going to have to pull 400 or 500 miles a day probably.
Oh yeah, it's to be like Texas run.
Yeah, and it would be, but
Be different.
I've been to a lot of the states in the United States, but I haven't been to all of them.
I've never been to the East Coast, so.
And I have been to the East Coast when I was in Florida,
I mean, the farthest east I've been is Duluth. So.
and I've been to, I've been to Chicago, I've been to Illinois, Indiana, Ohio.
No, the farthest east I've been is that air base that's smaller. This the one where we went to Michigan.
Okay, I saw here. Yeah, I forgot about that.
That's the farthest east I've been.
Yeah, I've been to Michigan twice. But I've been to Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Florida, Texas, and everything west, all the way up to Alaska and Hawaii. So the spots I haven't been, I've been to Virginia and DC and Maryland. So I've been to almost all the states except the eastern states I still don't have any experience with. But oh boy, they must be doing taxes today. What do you think?
That's my guess.
Yeah, that's sure what it looks like. Wow.
Oh, God.
So we'll loop around the whole game here. Ooh-wee.
Damn.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting there. But yeah, Michigan, as far east as you've been. We went through Wisconsin. It's interesting. Northern Wisconsin. So we'll have to look at it and figure out the best way to go.
They go circling.
Well, they had one in Florida, and I thought about driving, and I went, and I was entertaining the idea until I saw how big of an area it was in Florida. And I went, I don't want to be in an area that big. I just don't want that. So I lost interest in it at that point. Looks like parking across the street is an option, which means I can drop you off and do that if you want.
This is.
There.
Well, maybe. Get out first.
Yep.
It's interesting that thing breaks down the times and stuff, how long, roughly.
Yeah, to give you an idea of how to...
Give you an idea how long.
And you might want to restructure this leg or that leg.
Yeah.
And we did that when we went to Texas. We looked at that too. Last year...
That's what he said. They said you could take I-29 down and cut across Iowa or cut across
that might be a good
state,
way. That might be
another state.
That might be a good way.
And then you could avoid all that Wisconsin, Minneapolis stuff.
More direct route.
Yeah.
And less traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I considered that with that one route, and I was like,
Got to see how that fits with the cities. Yeah, but it's we're thinking about it. Flying's not really a very good option.
No.
If it was Mom and I only, it still wouldn't be too much fun because we take her machine and it gets broke or something or lost. We got a big problem,
Yeah.
you know. So it's what my flight benefits are doing for me. Not much. But they could, you know.
Yeah.
I could have, if Mom and I were available, we could have went anywhere in the world that Delta flew for free and probably sit in the very front of the big seat, or you know, the lay down seats. We had 2 tickets like that we could go anywhere and back, and we never took advantage of that. Ken used his to go to Hawaii when his daughter got married in Hawaii.
Well, that would have been the way to go. You can't drive to Hawaii.
You know,
Not well.
One of my supervisors, before she got tired and quit, had gone to what was it? They were pushing her really, really, really hard. And she was getting kind of tired of it. And then they said, "We're going to send you to Rome, and we're going to pay for everything."
Well, one thing about driving is if you went to some of these places, you could go through some of these. You know,
see things.
You could go through, like Knoxville, you could go by, I don't know how far you could actually get near the Fort Knox, if you could even see it from a road, but I mean, it would be interesting to be able to drive by it or well, even, you know, something, you know.
And you may or may not, depending on whatever.
Well,
it's kind of like when we drove up to the entrance to Cheyenne Mountain, which you don't remember. We were right up there next to the entrance.
Well, it's like we went to Yellowstone and the majority of it was foggy.
Yeah.
You don't know.
It's foggy.
Yeah, well, it's
from the sulfur and everything else.
Well, it was more just fog.
But it was interesting. I wish there would have been a few less people when we got to Old Faithful. We could have sat around for an hour. But we did see it doing its thing. We just didn't see the full extent of it, but we did see it. I was hoping we'd stay there for the more energetic portion of the eruption.
It would be interesting to go through the Tetons.
It would be good to go through the Tetons more than we did.
Yeah.
But
But they know where they're having their thing next year?
Because things went. They had 2 places in 4. There was 2 places in Florida they had picked, and South Carolina was the 3rd one on the list. And because of cost, they
never going north.
The 2, because of several items, cost was a lot of it. Was they wanted $200 a night for a hotel room, and you couldn't have a what was the deal? You couldn't have your hospitality room where you give out free booze, pop and snacks and stuff like that. You couldn't have that. Well, that puts a big problem for us because that's what we do. Then they had what was it? They were going to go to Wright Pat and do that. But the problem with that was we should have went when they went couple of years ago. We were scheduled to go, but we decided not to. And then we all got sick after that.
Yeah.
But at that time, we could have went to Wright Pat and got a tour of the Air Force Museum and everything like that. But it didn't happen. So
a few more years, and everybody's going to be on that tour. Is going to be in a wheelchair.
Well, pretty much.
Or your motorized scooter.
Well, it's getting that way. Yeah.
So doing these big tours is going to be really hard.
Well, yeah. So, and it ended up picking South Carolina. Now, Ohio would have been easier to do.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can get excited about doing it, but it's like when we were going to go to, we were thinking about driving to
see your sister,
Arizona or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And I had planned out different things. We decided to fly, which worked out fine. We rented was it a Jeep? No, it was a Ford Explorer.
Yeah.
And that's how I talked Mom into buying a Jeep.
That would have been interesting to go to.
Yeah, we did do some things down there for that. We had a good time with that. We were down there, and we went on part of the old Route 66, which Mom and I had been on back in the 50s. Okay, so that tells you how long ago that was.
Yeah.
And we had stayed at one of the same old school hotels, which was still in use.
Yeah.
It was funky then, and it hadn't gotten any better with age. But it was old school 66, so it was still. And we ate one of the restaurants downtown and we did some tours of different things. And it was interesting. When we went to Albuquerque, I got to introduce Mom to some of my old nuclear friends. The bombs, different bombs.
Yeah, I know.
I worked with.
Some pictures.
Yep.
The banged up ones.
Yep. 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 Long time ago.
But I don't know what's even in Charleston.
Navy. There's an air base. I don't know what they do.
No idea. Oh, regardless, I got a travel guide coming for that state.
Well, there's a joint base, Charleston or something like that. I think it's a Navy Air Force thing, but I don't. Maybe it's a fighter outfit. I don't know. I never wanted to be stationed on the East Coast. So.
No.
But although I could have been, but I just didn't have any interest.
I don't know if I know anybody in South Carolina. I don't know if I know anybody in South Carolina. I know I know people in North Carolina.
Well, and then we may not go. It may not be practical. It may not be. The cost would be interesting.
Well, yeah.
And we would have to take a lot of gear with us, and we would probably be doing, I'm going to say 2,000 miles down, 2,000 miles back. So have to carry some oil. But it would be interesting. But it would be also driving
long.
like a maniac.
That would be
down
long.
there. And even if Mom and I just flew, it would still be a pain. We'd fly from here to Minneapolis, Minneapolis to Atlanta to Charleston, and then the same game.
Yeah, that's when I was looking at that route. I was like, no, I don't want to go there alone.
No, there's no amount of money to go to Atlanta. No. I've been to Atlanta several times. No, thank you.
It'd be a long.
Do you not want to go back?
A long way.
Don't like that airport.
It would be a long. Not only be a long time, it'd be a long time. It would be
3 weeks
at least.
And lots of money.
Yeah, that's a long time. And Jen wouldn't be able to come because she probably couldn't get off anyhow.
Right. Not for that much time.
No.
We'd have to stop at every rest stop. Of course, we're going to stop at every stop anyhow. So.
Yeah. Well, but she's just a stretch, if nothing else.
Yeah. I'm not as young as I was.
No.
And I don't drink caffeine like I used to.
Her bladders would be.
Well, the ability to stay alert that long.
That'd be the good point about staying on something like the interstate or something.
Stick to the big road.
Yeah. Well, even some of the bigger, smaller roads. One good thing is a lot of those areas are pretty heavily populated. And when you go east, so there's a lot of stops around there.
Yeah. The question is, do you want to? So
That's, yeah.
driving to Fargo was long enough for me.
Yeah.
You add another couple 100 miles. What is it?
Well,
How
we
far
were all sick though too.
Yeah, that didn't make it in. It was, and we were worried.
If we weren't sick,
and
it
we were
would've
really
been
worried
bad.
about the weather. Then,
yeah. And October can be interesting.
oh yeah,
Probably not in South Carolina, but
well, it could be. It could be a hurricane. Yeah, it's a distinct possibility.
Well, if they're having a hurricane, they're probably going to cancel their thing.
Well, they didn't last time.
I don't know.
They were in Georgia when a movie,
don't know.
and they didn't cancel.
No. Yeah, but that's Georgia. They were kind of inland a little. South Charleston's right on the frickin' coast. And I don't know.
Well, yeah, because he's going to do any procedures. I wired the 20 amp line to the back PC outlet, Jeff.
In here?
Yeah, there's, if you look to your left, to the rear there is where the new oxygen power comes in. It's off that 20 amp line we bought in Montana. I'm not sure what the socket is, but rear PC outlet.
There's a big cable that's back here.
There's a red one and then there's a black one.
Oh,
Black one
feeling
has
the
the
black.
90-degree bend on it for plugging into the oxygen machine.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That way it won't be in the way as much.
Yeah. Well,
And
that's
if we
good.
need additional power, we can still bring it out of the
Yeah.
splitter. They didn't recommend using the splitter with the oxygen machine. Okay.
Somebody beeping?
I'm assuming it's a 20 amp line that goes split between the two, but I don't know.
Yeah, this thing is beeping.
Oh. Okay. Oh, that beep.
That looks in a wearing diagram. Almost getting there. Hey, look, getting better.
They must be busy. They have a lot of garbage in the garbage can. Hotel.
Should have seen that wet engine.
Yeah, yeah.
Garbage bags are almost as tall as
Yeah.
they were in
From that hotel next door to it.
the
Yeah. Must be a weekly clean out day or something. Monthly clean out day.
Could be monthly. New month.
Maybe
Yeah.
go through.
Some of them you can pay by
Yeah. That one there is a weekly thing, but yeah, it might be monthly. You going to the bank?
Was it going to the bank?
Oh, I was just figuring this is why you're going this way.
Trying to avoid the traffic we had earlier.
Oh, yeah.
maybe get a coffee.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Frozen drinky.
We'll see. Okay.
You know what I've been having lately? People just tailgating me.
Yes,
Mhm.
people are driving fast, and look at
Dumb.
the size of that Yukon Denali.
Mm-hmm.
Big,
Yeah,
right?
but they
Remember when
didn't
you couldn't
even-
It's like
fit
the size of a
front seat?
Suburban.
They didn't even.
That was an old one. That was an old Suburban.
You couldn't fit the
And
front
That was the
seat.
old. That was the old
I
Yukon.
mean, yes, yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
It's not even
Zip, 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 zip,
summertime.
zip, zip, zip.
It had the kind of the same problem the Durango has. It tilted its seat with the front forward. Yeah.
Which is better for aerodynamics.
Yeah. It's hard for tall people to get in. Well, I wouldn't have been able to fit in the other way either. It would have been too fat. No. Luckily, we found the truck that worked. Yeah, I was really surprised. I was really wondering if that pain in my back that was like a knot was going to go away or not this morning. And I took the higher dose painkiller, and it's pretty good right now. Still. That was the Tylenol.
What time do they close today? Kiosk there. It's not too Sunday. If they're open.
So I don't think it's going to snow every day. I was looking at the forecast. It was like those were like chances of snow on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Sunday though, tomorrow we might get 3 inches, but or 2 to 3 inches.
Well, that Neil lady said 2 inches.
Weather service said between 2 and 4
Well,
for us.
see,
Well, if you're in Bismarck, it'll be 10 to 12 inches in Bismarck
yeah,
and south.
you can stay down there.
Yeah.
We were at the meeting yesterday. And the guy says, well, I know we need some moisture. We don't want to get tired. So
I think everybody is.
It's because it started in November.
Mhm.
That's when we have many years without snow.
we got to catch up.
Yeah.
And
Oh, people in California, they're getting
But I remember as
all
a
those
kid,
storms.
back when they had to take 395
Yeah.
to Old Bridge because everything else was underwater.
Mhm.
And it was a wrinkly old.
Well, I don't know if it'll completely refill all their reserves, but it's sure helping.
Well, and even Lake Mead has gone up some.
Oh, it's gone up like 3 feet.
I'm not sure about.
That the water's up to that boat that came out of the water,
Yeah.
and it was like literally it was literally almost a quarter mile from the boat to the water at the lowest point. Now the water's back up to where the boat is, so
The one Powell's
Yeah.
come up too.
Yeah, Powell's come up. some of the other ones have gone up right to their like 80-90%, some of those smaller ones. And that was before this big snowstorm.
It's not over yet. I don't
No, there might have another one. Supposed to have another snowstorm. Boy, they've been having a lot of snowstorms in Arizona lately. Oh my goodness.
It's there too.
Oh my goodness. They've been having one about every week. About every weekend or every 2 weeks they've been having a big massive blizzard.
So what type of pizza are you looking for here?
Did you see anything exciting in there?
Oh, interesting rifle, interesting shotgun. And ammo.
stop I mean, she's
Yeah.
like a carload away from
Mm-hmm.
From the
the line, yeah. No?
There's some people, some of my friends on Facebook that are starting to get into the anti-gun, anti-everything. I'm like, well, if we start down this road, we're gonna have to defund the police too, you know, or we're gonna have to take the police's guns away too. If they're open, yeah. So they're open.
That's what I was thinking. Or maybe they figured they'd be. We didn't get anything on Thursday. Didn't get our paper. Didn't get anything.
U.S. Democratic Senate candidate says American leaders are fundamentally stupid. Yeah. Oh, tell us something we don't know here.
They give you a straw in your hot chocolate?
Yeah. Seems tiny compared to what I usually drink. There's like, I type in 16-ounce hot chocolate, and it comes up with all these different hot chocolates from all these different places.
Here you go. This is another one of these joyous California things, which is going to cause, I'm sure, a big backlash. California plans to pay 1.8 million black descendants of slaves living in the state. Could cost California $640 billion, $360,000 per person.
California never had.
I mean, that's just.
It was never slave victim.
Well, there you go.
That's because it was a territory.
Chinese weren't treated real well.
It used to be part of Mexico.
Yep. Well, like Texas, it became a republic on its own first. It's gone down to Carper so bad it's not even funny.
Now they're trying to come up with like the reparations task force. I love that. Didn't offer any suggestions on meaning on how the state might come up with the more than $500 billion.
They just got bailed out by us last time.
There you go.
Them in New York, they're both in the hole.
Don't they usually put milk in this?
I don't know.
No, I don't think so. But I think it's baked.
Unfortunately, California currently facing a $22.5 billion budget deficit, despite running a $100 billion surplus in 2022. Love that. That's funny. That's funny. Why stop there? Why don't we pay off everybody, no matter what their color is?
Well,
there you
all
go.
the taxes are the Girl Scouts too.
Give them the,
I think it's just taxing. Well, I don't know.
use some of this stuff.
The Catholics are like, I can't eat meat today.
It's the part of the Lent tradition of eating fish.
I was like, well,
They can eat fish. They can eat fish.
I'm in on Friday
Right.
yesterday.
That's the way-
Yesterday though.
It used to be every Friday years ago.
Yeah.
But then
Oh,
they,
it is every Friday.
I thought it was every Friday and Wednesday.
well,
Wednesday?
I thought it was
Ash Wednesday, I know.
they had to during Lent, and they had to on, was it every Friday? It used to be a weekly. Yep.
Nope.
I could do it better. It's not here. What's your 4 years have been there longer?
Go to Oak Park meet.
Mm-hmm.
Go to Oak Park and eat.
I still couldn't hear you.
We go to Oak Park and eat.
Well, we can sit here and we complain.
It's already took off.
No,
Overhead.
Hasn't got here yet from Denver.
No, when's it getting there?
Well, it said 2:40, but I think it'll be here before.
Oh, so an hour.
Well, I don't think so, unless you see it that way.
Mm. I don't know what time it is, so.
Well, yeah, that's where we, yeah. We haven't parked there in a while, have we?
No.
Well, it's not a open business yet.
I have the building permit on that though.
Yep.
It may be solid with nothing on it. I have 106 calories left for the day.
I would say put what you want on the salad, and we'll just try to adapt into the new thing gradually.
Well, the first day, Mom, I went over by like 400 some calories. So
Yeah. That's it. Get used to it. Training the stomach to get used to it.
I was like, whoops. Is that your phone, Dad?
Yes, that's got. So we could feed her.
Mm-hmm.
Wyoming.
Warrior 33-754. Reported 2 miles left edge to runway 26.
So when you guys went from Grand Forks to Wyoming, did you keep your North Dakota plates?
Yep.
Because I was military and Mom wasn't working.
Oh.
If Mom would have been working, we would have had to change the plates of one of the vehicles.
Mom couldn't drive.
So that
We only had one car. Because I couldn't keep my license.
Because you had your seizures?
I had that seizure when you were born. And you were like 9 months when we moved, so it wasn't a year.
So we sold the truck, took the car.
You had a truck?
Yep.
Nice little truck. Half ton. 6-cylinder, 3-speed on the column. Topper on it, blue. That's nice. 300 inline 6. That's a nice truck. But either I was going to have to put the Granada on the trailer and pull it down there. Which might have been a good idea. I just wasn't totally comfortable doing that. So we sold the truck.
Is that the truck that was in those pictures?
Blue,
Yeah,
half-ton Chevy
yeah.
Ford. Yeah. It's a
It says
nice-
Rhino on it.
There's a couple of pictures in one of the photo albums a long time ago. I haven't looked in forever.
76 half-ton. That's a nice truck.
It's one of the ones Dad had in Alaska.
Nope.
Watch out!
They got a stop sign there.
Doesn't mean they stop.
Last time I looked. Yeah, it was a dark blue. The one we had in Grand Forks. Oh, one of the ones I had in Grand Forks. Did a lot of swapping and trading.
Do you have one you have in Alaska? It's green.
Yeah, it was blue. That was an F-250, 300 inline 6. Two-wheel drive, 3/4 ton. 12 downhill, uphill. That blue one, the Rhino, did pretty good at gas. Went around 20 or something.
So did you get the Mustang when you were in Wyoming?
Yeah, I got the Mustang in Wyoming. The smartest one. But it worked. Water's definitely draining today.
It's not really a Mustang. It was a hot hatchback.
That's back with that Clifford
Dad and I drove back to North Dakota in it.
Not
With the
really.
dog.
Yeah.
Not really considered a Mustang. It was kind of a neutered Mustang.
V6, it had get up and go, but it wasn't like the 302.
No.
It had a V8 up. I kept it a long time. It didn't have.
Like I said, it was a neutered Mustang.
It would move, and it got pretty good mileage too. There was times when we got 30 miles an hour. I tuned it for 6,000 foot elevation. I got down to Louisiana, it wouldn't run. Well, the cycle meeting went to Grand Forks. We had to pull over and adjust the timing because the car wouldn't run.
Yeah.
Because it was set up to run at 6,000 feet. Had to play with the timing and the carburation. Happy with
I thought when you came back up here from Wyoming, you went here, not Grand Forks.
it. We did, but we came back to visit.
Oh.
Yeah, because when that first time we came back, we went through Nebraska and everything was so green.
Couldn't hardly stand
extra we've got.
Get the top off of this Jeep.
I don't remember when we came back, what time of year it was.
The weather was pretty good.
It was so green. Green grass, green leaves on the trees. Everything just was so bright green. It was like hard to look at. Which made going back to Wyoming, where it was pretty much still brown, hard.
Harder. That's where the job was.
Yeah, my daughter's telling me you need to go home.
We're heading home.
Yep.
Green light.
Are you going now?
Maybe it was Christmas.
They're finally getting around to pulling their stuff.
Lots of people still have their Christmas decorations.
Oh yeah, we put them up once and never take them down.
Lights around their roofs and stuff are still.
Oh, that's right. School's. No.
They have those.
Football. Oh, basketball.
Yeah. It'd be comical if they were playing football still.
Well, probably not right now.
Wow. It's amazing not to see anybody. Of course, it is a Saturday. Yeah. Just leave them up all year.
No, he doesn't because he puts up different ones for Halloween.
Well, leave them up till Halloween. Just add to it. Just add to it. Throughout the year, just add to it. It's a good thing, Lee.
Yep. That's right. Yeah.
I guess he went first.
Does he stop first?
Well, he kind of California stop, sort of. I was watching him. I was like, oh, this guy stops.
They call it a California stop. In California, they just call it a stop.
Actually, in California, they just slow down and go through. I think. That's how they get out of cars now.
Good afternoon. The time is 3 p.m. K08JW. Repeater.
There was an accident over by your house yesterday.
Was there?
Yeah, I went to get stuff and then I had to loop around because the line was too long. And right here, I'll show you where it is. East Guard Fire Department ambulance were there. And it was right up here by the Chevy. And the whole was in this area here. And the whole thing was blocked off.
Hmm.
So I have to loop around a different way. And then people didn't want me to move over out of the turn lane. So that was fun. Emery Riddle here. That means this guy's an ex-pilot, probably. Oh, yeah. Looks like he flew B-1s and B-52s.
This guy in front of us?
Mm-hmm. I got a match. Yep, so off on one side and then B1 on the other.
Barely.
Yep.
See, Jeff? Trying to hit reply. No. Yeah.
There, it sent it.
Yeah, but it takes a while. I don't know if it's the 4G.
Shouldn't be.
For 62, I don't know what that is. 2W1. For 62, I don't know. OBX. Hey, Bob.
Not sure. This is this thing.
Same one as the before. No,
that
this
was a
one's
different
bigger.
color.
It's an XL.
Yeah, no, this. See if there's any updates or something.
Be in your dream home by the 4th of July. 4th of July, is there a little lead time? Need snow on top of the trailer. Yep. Might have been sitting out in the field or something.
John. Might just have to. Every once in a while, just restart your phone. It's doing its updates now.
Oops.
Oh, it's fine. Every once in a while, I probably just need to restart your phone in the
My
morning.
garden show's here. Well, that's something else.
Yeah,
It eventually did it. I just don't know.
today and tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, when I had a real screen protector on my phone, and not this liquid one, sometimes it would interact with, like you'd have to press it a couple times.
I didn't hit to turn it back on.
No, don't worry about it. Does it have a real screen protector on it, or does it have like a liquid one?
Liquid.
it's I don't know. It's
And it does this for a long
well, it's restarting. It hasn't been restarted in a long time. Probably in the morning, just a good idea to do a restart on it. Now see it's optimizing apps since you haven't restarted in a while. Probably every morning or every other morning you should probably restart it.
Huh?
Just so it's all set up.
Yours on at night.
time. Yep.
Everybody pretty much does.
I don't.
Well, yeah.
That's because we have the third phone. The Wolf.
Well, no, it's just a lot of us watch videos and other things on it all the
I'm saying
time.
that we have the Wolf.
That's not the reason. Is we usually, you guys have your TV turned on all the damn time, so you are always watching something on TV.
Sometimes
I mean,
we're not watching because
We're not always watching stuff on TV. We usually use our phones for entertainment, extra face, like everybody else does. Huh? So I'm just as guilty as pretty much everybody else. I leave mine on the majority of the time too.
I heard music in your room today.
When I can't
Yeah,
get
I play
anything to work on mine, then I restart it.
It's just good enough to do a restart every morning before you go or before you do everything. Just do it, and it takes so little time to do a restart.
Goofy letters and stuff.
Yeah, I do. I just,
If you end up having to go to the bathroom, just do a restart on it, and by the time you come back, it'll be fully and done. Or somebody else said they just like shut it down, let it sit for 2 minutes, and then restart it. Like you'd do as like a power cycle of something else, like your motor.
Dad said I could get SRT's DSL, but that'd be another bill.
Yeah, again, assuming that they can put it in there.
They can. I call them
Okay.
next. They should be able to.
Yeah,
that'd be fiber to copper.
don't know what they even allow.
If it's on copper, it's not going to be as fast.
Well, I don't know what they're gonna do. I know they were running cables in that area about a month ago.
But they
So,
didn't run the updates when the fiber came in.
well, I don't know. We're supposed to have 5G, and we don't have 5G yet either. So, anywhere in the state, yeah, we're paying for it.
We'll have a state.
Well, maybe. Hopefully.
They look pretty full over here.
Because basketball's in town.
Several things going on in town.
Well, that's how they're full up. It's Class B girls things in town. Among that show, that other show's going on in whatever it is going on.